Alfred Lord Tennyson says, it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. My name is Demeji Daniels, and Moni is there with me today.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on another edition of Pains, Love, and Family.
And today, we'll be talking about heartbreak, how to deal with it.
All right, so we did say that we'll be talking about dealing with heartbreak. And I must say that that's the pains part of the show where we get to talk about a lot of things. It's not just me and Demeji alone in the studios. We have, I do not want to say we have...
Miriam is there.
Miriam is here, Rosemary is here.
Single, married?
Who is single and married?
Unmarried.
Okay,
Single,
I thought you said single and married. Okay.
Rosemary is here as well.
Rosemary is here. We have Tolu in the house as well. And we have Michael in the house. Michael is the only single male in the house. But of course, don't worry. We'll get to do a lot of representation on the show. So very quickly, I'm going to start with Michael as the only single in the house. You know, well, before we came on the show, not today, while I and Demeji were talking about this program, it occurred to me that a lot of people do not even take heartbreak as heartbreak. Some people say that life moves on, and then I think it happens more to the male. They tend to move on quickly. Do you agree with me?
I don't truly agree with that.
Okay.
Okay. Most time when you come to that position of you want to move on, you are only trying to prioritize yourself because it has a way of coming back to you. So you have to really sit down and deal with it if you are truly heartbroken.
Okay.
If you are a responsible man.
Okay. So moving on quickly does not does not fall on the man alone. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
It depends on the nature.
The only difference, I think, with the man and the man and the woman is that the man
pretends.
It tends to hide it more. It pretends to be dealing with it, but then you can't really when you're experiencing heartbreak. It's just like when you're experiencing solitude. You're alone. You feel alone. Even when you're in the midst of people, you still feel alone. You feel empty. You feel so empty from the inside, on the inside rather. So, but the man in you hide it.
Michael, have you had a heartbreak before?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, what's the definite?
All of us.
What's the definite? Some people may not term it as heartbreak. Demeji, that's the truth. Some people don't see it as that, but they'll say that because it was not meant for you. That means it's not. The negativity with which people see heartbreak, like heartbreak, and then you want to. But for me, I may not see it as heartbreak. I may just see it as life happened, and I just have to move on and then probably get into something better, So, Michael, you were telling me you've got into an heartbreak before.
Yeah.
So, how did you deal with it?
One of the ways...
Or how did you overcome it?
Okay. One of the ways I was able to overcome it was just because I had friends around me that were able to encourage me. And when, like he said, I feel discouraged, I feel empty, like... so many years of investment. Just
you ask questions. You ask yourself questions.
Where do I want to start?
And that takes us to the why. You feel you're good enough for this person. You feel you're doing everything right, and then you start asking yourself, why did it happen? Didn't I do well? Am I not good enough? Am I not beautiful enough? Women ask these questions. They stand in front of the mirror, they do makeup, wipe it off, and then a lot of things going on in your head. But I think that the best way to deal with the why, sometimes if you can ask it, when you ask yourself honest questions, there are a lot of people who do not ask themselves honest questions. They just keep giving excuses, thinking that they are right, because for every relationship that goes wrong, both of you are wrong in a way. Yes. Both of you are right in a way. Yes. So when you ask yourself honest questions, you'll be able to have honest answers. Okay, let me turn to Rosemary. Rosemary, why do you think in the first instance that heartbreaks happen?
Should I say misunderstandings and people having different views about things and they can't come together to have like a kind of agreement, exactly. So they can in some way, maybe should I say mature enough, maybe they are mature enough to just make things work, and they just think, okay, maybe being apart from each other is better. Possibly that's why breakups happen at times.
Yeah, sometimes breakup is just the best option. There's a time that you get to a stage you feel that I've been pushed to the wall.
It's not gonna work.
Like this is not gonna happen again. And it's just I used to say something that this is not marriage. This is just a relationship. That if you feel that I can't cope with this person anymore, my dear, just let go. If it's marriage, is a different thing, but it's the relationship.
So you're saying when you reach that point that you know it's not going to work?
That when you feel that this is. What
about when you feel that you probably love the other person more than they loves you? What about that, Tolu?
Well, that do happen. Most
Has
times
it happened to you before?
Okay, let me just put it this way: that mine was not a relationship. Mine was an assumption.
A situationship.
Yes. You know that kind of feeling. It was an assumption because I wasn't even ready to go into a relationship when I just started. That okay, fine. I just want to live my life and just be okay because I hate heartbreak. You know that kind of mentality because you see people around you crying and you be like,
you don't want to be there.
So I did not want to be there. But at the end of the day, mine happened to be assumption. When I'm talking about assumption, what I'm talking about is the fact that you being a friend with a guy and you've been friends for long.
And in your head you're already dating.
And the guy will take you out and the guy will make you feel very good, happy and all. And you start assuming that oh God, one day this guy will just propose. You understand things like that. And eventually when you say that this thing is going nowhere, not that we just go out, we talk and we just come back and later I was like, it seems as if time is going. What is happening? And I said, what's happening? No, like
you're in friend zone.
Moving away. Like other guys are moving away. You're the ones that are not allowing other guys to.
He wasn't giving you any signal.
You're not giving me any signal.
Maybe he was taking his time.
What's happening now? He now said, for now, I don't want to be in a relationship.
Imagine.
What have you been thinking? Do you think I want to go into a relationship now? No, I'm still in school. And I was like, oh my God, you're still in school, but you're in your final year, and you are, this person is like very close to 30. I was like, no. I couldn't deal with it. I was really, really heartbroken. You understand? But if I were to have gone into that relationship, it would have been worse. You understand something like that? Because I was really, really in love with somebody who had not even proposed.
Okay, let me ask Michael. Do you think that it could also be that maybe the person thinks you were moving too fast? Sometimes you're in a relationship with somebody and then they're thinking about marriage. When you are step 1, they're already at step 10, and you're like, I don't want this. Could it also be that?
Yeah, it is very, very possible that in most cases can be what really happens, because and I want to say it happens more to the female, whereas the female is really wanting to fast forward many things and
they want you to meet your dad very quickly, meet your mom and then you ain't ready for that.
And for the man, actually you want a relationship, but you just want to take it slow and steady. And if that persists, for the man you begin to find things that may continually get you annoyed, and
you feel crowded. You feel like that she's not giving you your breathing space.
I think that on the contrary, I think that usually, like the example Tolu gave, if we're going to look at it in the real life situation, how about brother?
Why should you lead somebody on to that extent?
Why would you lead a lady on like that?
Let me say this. I know people who are confused. That is another reason.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are confused as to what they want. They're not sure. Okay, is it Tolu Is Tolu a good person? Is she not a good person? Okay, now I know that she's a good cook. Is she pretending? They have this many questions, this area of questions in their head, and they're trying to find answers along the way. For those people, if they really love you, if you really love them, it's going to take time. Now, it is your choice to decide if you have that time. If you're ready to give that time. If you're not ready to give that time, then you have to do something about it.
Your mouth.
You have to.
Take that long?
It could. You know, let me give you an instance. For a guy who loves reserved girls, who would want to date a girl that is reserved, not a party type, and all of that, then he meets a girl that is not reserved, that is lively, bubbly, and all of that, and he falls in love with her. He truly falls in love with her, and he loves her truly, but he's scared. This person is going to toy with my heart. This person is going to break my heart. Can I deal with this trouble, with this drama? And it's taking his time to get to that conclusion. Like, will I be able to deal with it?
But what happened with...
He might be trying his best to shift from that position of being the
You can't change something about people.
If you're trying to do that, it's going to cause a lot of friction.
It's going to be temporary.
Some people are not even trying to change. They are trying to see if they could live with that. For instance, you meet a girl or a guy that you truly love, and you know that this person has anger issues. Anger issues again level. When I was in school, my friend at the time, my closest friend, I had this girlfriend. If they were fighting, if they were quarreling, she would pick up the TV, break it. She would pick up the dishes and break it. In fact, there was a day my friend came to school and was limping, and I was like, what happened to you? He said, I slipped in the bar. I said, this is a lie. Don't tell me that. You can't. I can see wound. You know what happened? They were fighting and they get threw a stone at him, and he had already turned. Yeah, he was backing her, and she aimed the stone at his head, but God save his soul. So there are, at some point, he had to let go. As much as he loved her, he had to let go. There are people like that. Can I deal with this anger issue?
Yeah, but I am saying, Dimeji,
sometimes you feel that you've been pushed to the wall. Like this is not going to happen.
I am even saying that what happened to talking? What happened to putting things on the table and then saying, how can you?
Let me tell you, talking is good, but you can't judge people based on talking. If, for instance, I have a girlfriend who I have noticed tells lies, I'm a kind of person, I can't deal with lies. I don't like it. If it is the bitterness of truth, I want you to tell me. I like it like that. I roll like that. I may be angry with you, but I'll forgive you for telling the truth. But if you tell a lie as simple as, have you eaten? I've eaten when you know you have not eaten, and I find out, then I'm kind of wondering in my head, this person lies. If she could lie in little things, small matters, she would definitely lie in bigger matters. And I sit you down, I say, I think you're not truthful, and I don't like it. And you promise me, it will not happen again. I was just joking and all of that. And after that, I discover that you keep doing it. Even when I don't tell you that I know that you're lying, you keep doing it. So what's the essence of talking? At some point, you just have to make up your mind.
But then I was watching a show this morning, and the lady was asked the question that if few weeks to your wedding, your spouse, when we're talking about anger issues, so people have issues, slaps you, maybe
beat you up or something.
No, this is just a slap. Slaps you, that would you go ahead with the wedding? This lady said this is like a real life situation that happened to her. She didn't a week to the wedding, that's kind of weird in a way. She said she went ahead with the wedding, got married to the person, and then she now broke off.
The wedding?
Yes, she broke off the marriage.
Okay.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. You would have done that as well?
Yes.
A broken wedding or a broken marriage, which is preferable?
A broken
because
wedding.
I thought that, okay, now today we started to talk about dealing with heartbreak. Now in that situation, you are putting that man in a very, very tight corner.
Let's flip the coin, Money. What if it was the lady who slapped the guy a few days to the wedding.
If he had,
My sister once slapped her husband. I've seen people do it. What if it was a lady who slapped the guy a few days to the wedding? Because, let's not take this to another level. Because
it's not about the male or female thing now.
We could get into it, because I know when they talk about slapping and all of that, women, you can't beat a woman, all of that. But women beat men.
Yeah.
A woman will tear your cloth.
It's not as much as the men do it.
Wait, a woman will run. You have not been in that situation. A woman will run into the kitchen, go pick up the knife and your morogun, and will hit you with it. And you say you are the man, you keep quiet, you don't want to touch her. One day you will touch her. Because one day you have to fight back. Even if in defending yourself, one day you have to fight back. So that's why I'm asking, what if it were the lady who slaps the guy a few days later? Will the guy call off the wedding? Will the guy go ahead and then call off the marriage?
It could. Depends on individuals.
I believe if two people really love each other, they can work out whatever issues.
I actually don't understand, Money. Are you saying you're going to call off the wedding?
I would have preferred. I am happy that I'm not in that situation. But I would have preferred that she said, "Okay, no wedding anymore." Then go ahead with the wedding. Now get married. Then you now say, "I know they do again." I don't understand.
People do it.
Okay. Let's move on. I think that's another issue. Okay. Oftentimes, like I said at the beginning, when people experience heartbreaks, most of us, we tend to blame the other person. Oh, he gets angry too easily. Oh, she's a liar. Oh, I can't deal with that. Oh, but sometimes, do you think, Michael, that sometimes we could be the reason that we experience heartbreak?
I believe that many times both parties are involved, because it takes the two of them to actually make the relationship work. So it could be an oversight on one person's side or something, but I have to be sincere with myself.
Most people don't do that.
I have to be sincere with myself. The other person. Because though she has a part, but notwithstanding, I have a part to play too. If I had done my own part, maybe she would have done her own part and would have worked together. But since I didn't do my part the way it should be done, and though it looked negligible, and it will look negligible because I am the man here.
Yeah.
But now I have to be sincere with myself, and so that I can deal with that when I go into any relationship.
And the relationship, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we need to ask the right questions, and then sometimes you even need to ask your ex why he or she broke up with you. If you are honest enough, from the things they tell you, it will help you to work on yourself. For instance, if you keep going into a relationship with a guy that lies, with liars, you're always dating liars, then check yourself. What is wrong with you? Why are women beaters always coming your way? Why are liars always coming your way?
Well, for me, I believe in the philosophy that you will marry who you are. So if you keep checking it, first, second, third guy coming to you as a woman and they are liars, check yourself. You also have
traits of life.
Okay, I have something that says sometimes it's your own behavior that pushes people away. Check your actions to see if you take advantage of people emotionally, financially, or otherwise. If you criticize your partner often, or fail to praise him or her when good things happen. If you behave selfishly with your own time or money, some people, they want to spend your money, they won't let you spend their own money. It even happens in marriage. If you always act negatively or constantly complain, if you nag, if you can nag, any man can be nagged out of any relationship. If you fail to listen to your partner, there are people like that. You tell them, I don't want this thing, I don't like it. You sit them down, they keep doing the same thing.
You come off as
then you become tired. You become tired of people complaining. And then when you become tired, then you keep quiet. And when you keep quiet, there's trouble in paradise.
Yeah, can I be truthful to you? Like, for me, one of the things that she raised before because I made sure that the last day we're going to call it off, we had to explain some of the faults I know she was seeing in me and some of the faults I was seeing in her, so that at least we are friends. But one of the complaints she laid was the fact that I can raise as many as 5 points at the same time, issues to deal with, and I will want it to be done at that time. Like raising as from one point to the other. I don't give her the space to talk. And for me, it's he doesn't appear to me that way. Because I actually
trying to pour out your mind.
I actually open the floor for you. When I don't get a response from you,
keep talking.
I was using a CUG sim, so we have the limitless time to just keep talking. So when I open the floor, maybe for the next, ladies, sometimes they just keep they are silent, quiet. They are mute. So you responds and she's not saying anything, and I keep raising another one, and she got tired until the point that there are days I will just call her, I won't say anything. So, but she raised that, and I knew that I had to work on that. So.
Okay, another thing now is that if you act abusive, either physically or emotionally, people tend to talk about slapping you, doing this. There are people who also abuse people emotionally. Yeah. The way they talk to you, the way they even treat you, even without saying a word. Yeah. So that could also be the reason for that.
Now, another point in dealing with heartbreak, which I feel a lot of people do, is retaining relationship in a way with their ex. Myself and Dimeji were watching a video, very funny video online, and the guy was trying to respond to many ways which people deal with heartbreak, and there is one that really got at me. Like, you've left someone and you keep monitoring the person on like 24/7.
Yeah, some people do it.
You can't help that.
They are like CIA.
You mean you can't help it?
First, maybe like 2-3 weeks.
My darling, please move on and leave him.
It's not that easy for some people. Do you know that?
I know.
Yes, it's not that easy.
But some people will go to your Facebook, go to Instagram. Who is this lady? This lady that is.
I want to kill yourself.
Actually, it's actually the first step for me to move on. The first thing I used to do, my friends call it childish, but the first thing I do is delete all the pictures I have of you.
Block everything.
It's to
delete all pictures
on every social media I have you on. I block you off.
My dear, I block your number.
All your pictures, all videos we did together, everything.
I don't.
So that you're not tempted to visit.
I don't delete
friendship. Delete number. I can tell you that you can still remember the number.
Of course. It happened to me. For 3 years, the number kept ringing my head.
I still have it, but I don't call.
For me, I'm sure that I will still remember in the next 10 years.
I still have my ex number, but I don't call. I just know when I say it, I don't know.
But I don't think it's the right thing to do. Going on the social media
and blocking. I don't really agree with that.
Even if you have their pictures, hard copies of their pictures, if you're not going to throw it away or burn it, or things that will make you remember them, I think you can put it. You can put it somewhere.
Don't return it.
When you will not. Sometimes when you return it, it could look childish, but then you can put it in a box and put it somewhere. When you will not even get it.
Those are even hard copies. There is a soft copy in your heart. That one is the one you should deal with first.
That's part of it.
No.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with it?
It's a lot of.
He was saying you have their number stuck up in your brain. So how do you get that out?
No, you can't. That's what we say when we say tell people to forgive and forget.
Okay,
you may not forget, but we are saying that you can deal with it even if it's in your head.
How would you deal with that?
Well, if it's the issue of number, there is no way you can.
Not just number.
Everything that reminds you of that person.
Yeah, but generally, apart from stopping communication and everything, there are some places whereby if you go, you remember somebody.
Certain places you've been together, people you've been friends. You have mutual friends.
If it is church, even if it is friends.
People keep asking, where is Michael? So where is Michael? And then sometimes you don't have the answers to all that. Mommy,
so you need to avoid those kinds of people. Like avoid his friends, because they know you guys are not together anymore. Avoid them. Even if you are going to the same church, you can even change your church. Yes, it really helps. Yes, it really helps, because there are some memories that we really remember. Depends on I've even seen someone that moved out of the country just because
she was heartbroken.
Are you serious?
I saw her to change the location.
Well, she has the money.
This person, what happened to this person was that they had already picked the date for the wedding. You understand? The wedding was remaining just a week.
Ouch.
And
that one is that
was very serious. Then the lady, bloody. Yeah, the lady couldn't get out of it easily. But for months the lady was so lean and everything, and at the end of the day, we have to advise as family members that the next
Okay, what about ladies? Ladies do this more. Who undress themselves and start cursing you?
that is very
local way of
people doing? Don't say, look, I've seen so-called clean girls do that.
You know what?
They want to themselves in the night. At midnight.
Maybe they might have gone through it.
Michael, Michael is there. So,
people might have gone through a lot before they actually did something like that. They might have gone through a lot.
In a relationship, when you invested everything, your money, your time, your body,
like what she was saying, like that emotions right now.
And then you find out maybe 5 years down the line that you've been a fool.
From day
one that you've been a fool.
I have even heard of a situation whereby the guy tormented the lady for months. You knew you were going out of the relationship, but let me say like 6 months that you wanted to go out of relationship. You knew you would go out of relationship, but you made sure you spoiled the lady. You gave her a kind of low self-esteem to the extent that she couldn't just.
The truth is that there are some people that naturally want to be fooled. I'm not sure I told my husband this thing I want to say, but it is well. Before I got married, there's this guy that, when you say somebody just likes you, all he wants is, even though I told him this our relationship is not going to go anywhere, he said, I just want to be there. You are not doing anything. You just want to be there. I don't understand that you just want to be there. I tried to break all the ties. I tried to do a lot of things, but he just wanted to be there. Now,
be there for you. They are your demons.
And honestly, there's a way I didn't want to, in a way, break his heart. I wanted him to also come to the reality that how long do you just want to be there? Because me, I can't just want to be there. I want to move on. He wasn't married. We were both single. But I know that I can't marry this person. I don't want to marry this kind of person. But he knows that I don't want to marry him. But he just wants to be there. And I was spending his money, So, when I now said, of course, we broke up the relationship before I met my husband. But if along the line my husband came and then I now say, okay, now I want to get married, would you say I broke his heart?
You know why I will say that? It's your choice to be there with him. If he says he wants to be there, if you say you don't want to be there, and you don't even take his money, that's another thing. Don't take gifts from him.
It was a Dimeji, may you not be in that my tight corner.
don't take gifts from him. Don't take his money.
It's as bad as something that we've been close and you had your intention hidden somewhere. You didn't table it, and then I got to know that this was your intention. I'm like, no, I can't. We got to that point. So when people are in a relationship, can we start talking? Can we begin to put things on the table so that when you talk, everybody. I know that this is my expectation. I know that this is his expectation. So at that point, we can now say, no, I don't think I can go with it. Then we break up easily. I think it will work better than realizing later that so this is it, and then we now break up, and then somebody goes into the room at 12 midnight to
okay, 60 minutes before 2. Okay, let's get into how to really deal with it. For me personally, I believe the best thing is to move on. Don't stay in the past. I always tell people, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. If it was meant to be, it would have worked in the first instance.
Some people say that it's easy to say.
So, but then that's the best way to move on. Don't dwell too much on it. Some people also say the best thing to do is to stay busy. Do you agree with that, Tolu?
Yes, I do.
Keep your mind occupied.
Yes, I do. Most times, when you are at home alone, you don't have anything doing. You can't
listening to Heartbreak songs.
You start listening to Heartbreak songs. You start thinking on your own.
You start crying.
Yes, you start crying. But for example, when you go to church, pastor is preaching, this is going on, you won't have time. Or when you come to work,
go out,
with your friends,
go to the cinemas.
Yeah, it really works.
Yes.
It's really
what about socializing, Rosemary? Getting out. Okay, she said going out.
Go out with your friends.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I think another thing that works is that people say that for me, not even heartbreak now. Me, I don't want to say I like crying, but when I cry, for me it's therapeutic for me.
Okay.
When I cry, it makes me feel like, let me cry. When I now finish crying, I'm done, and that's it. So if you feel like crying, please go ahead and cry.
Don't hide it inside of you.
Just cry.
Cry.
But they say guys don't know, they don't want to cry. Well, but I don't know about that.
No.
Okay, what about taking out, cleaning out old memories? Like you said in the
I was saying that earlier. You delete every picture, every video, even you on Instagram, unfollow, on Twitter, unfollow, whatever, on Facebook, block.
What if you live on the same street and you always see it? You're going out in the morning, maybe you're going to work, you will also be going out.
Or even the school environment.
What if you work in the same place? What do you do? Are you going to sack him or sack her?
Or you resign?
Actually,
You just keep your space.
Just try to avoid.
Keep your space. You're in the same department.
Even if you're in the same
Fake another relationship.
You can keep your space.
Fake another relationship.
But people will take note. People will take note you were close with it, and they start asking questions.
To me personally.
Chetty Jani, Agilete can Kirain.
If we like
To me,
Ask questions.
I can't do work relationships because I don't. I can. That's the best thing to do. Don't do work relationships. Try not to do
So
work
does that mean
relationships.
from the beginning you plan for a breakup?
No.
anything
Well,
can happen.
I'm saying what's trying to make
What if you
I
fall in
can't.
love? What if you fall in love with somebody who you work with?
It's actually fine.
When I get there,
To me, it's actually fine when you fall in love with someone you're working with. It's just the level of maturity. We can break up and still be talking. That's part of let's settle that this was what made us break up.
Yeah.
This is why we can't get back together again.
Yes.
It's actually, I'm actually.
But some people become monetary spirits.
But when you decided that, okay, this thing has ended, but let's not interfere with work. If you're my boss,
business or work,
if you're my partner, if we work together, let's just decide that this is work apart. We can let that talk in the evening and we'll swap for ourselves, but this is work. We are at work.
Don't mix business with
Okay, like for me, what I did then was for like 4 months I didn't contact. Got so good, my phone got damaged, so no social media,
lucky.
nothing. I
sometimes you are tempted to call.
Yeah, sincerely.
Should I call?
But after about like 4 months, when I was sure I dealt with her.
But I had an ex who was calling me even after I was married, was asking me, can you help with school, with courses and all of that
what he's saying, I was
even asking
actually.
to still come over and greet her.
Wow. Okay, we're going to allow people calling now. 0816 251 9991. 0816 251 9991. That's the number to call to be a part of the program.
Okay, let me ask this. How soon do you think people should get into another relationship after a breakup?
When you're sure you are very much over that person.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
You can't say in a month, in 2 months, not
How do you even know you're sure?
because you can actually deal with that person like just an outsider and not
You can
somebody
look
you
back on
actually
those
and just
For me,
like okay,
for
it's
me,
over,
if
it's
you are
over.
truly sincere with yourself, you should go into a relationship when you have truly dealt with what actually caused that downfall. If you can pinpoint it, deal with it so that it won't cause another breakup.
No, for me, in a situation whereby the lady was the one that was in love, that was like in situation where Tolu said. So I have a friend that the only best option for her was to fall in love again.
Okay, we have a caller.
Okay, we have it.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's the name?
This is Alex calling from Akure.
Thank you for joining us, Alex. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I like to say that you see, the issue is the attitude of the black man not letting go things, and that is the same reason why somebody offends you, you say you won't forgive him. So you have to have this spirit of let go, and also that you are idle. You tend to think about the past. And once you get busy, my brother, you even forget your birthday. That's how bad it could be. So, the fact that you had an ex and you are thinking about it, move on with life.
Yeah.
It's beyond him or her.
Yeah.
You have to understand that you are just you met by coincidence. So it's just as though you never met. It's just like a dream. So move on with life and get busy.
Yeah.
The more you get busy, the more you even if you come across him in the future, you just, long time, and it's going to be casual. That's how it's going to be.
All right, thank you, Alex. Alex is talking about getting busy. Don't get yourself idle, so that sometimes when you are very busy, you even forget about your own birthday. So don't just. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Yeah. Yes, good afternoon. We're fine, thank you. What's the name, please? Hello. Ade, where are you calling us from? Thank you for joining us. Please go ahead.
What are the strategies that makes you depart? Those strategies are very strong, and you never recall about secondly to do any longer. If it appears that little things makes you to disappoint or maybe disagree with each other, then you can still recall your. There's nothing bad about that. We are in the world, and until we die, we live on.
Thank you for your contribution, Ade. Let's see if we can take 2 more.
Before we do, let me ask this. Is it possible for you, let me start from Miriam now, to get back to somebody who wants to break your heart?
Hey?
Would you do that?
It depends on the reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the reason.
The reason for the breakup.
Yes, exactly. I won't get back with a cheating.
Isn't broke your heart in the process?
I won't get back with a cheating partner.
Anyone?
Not at all. Even the one that I like, the one I just got off from I broke it up because of lack of communication. I now came out to be like someone that is always nagging. So
like a monitoring spirit.
Thank you.
Okay,
so,
Rosemary, would you get back to somebody who once broke your heart?
Like she said, based on the grounds of the breakup. And if it's really remorseful and we can work things out and patch things up, why not?
Would you date any of your ex-chicks, Michael? If you just, off the top of your head, would you date any of your exes once more?
Oh, no.
Why is that? They were all bad.
Not that, but they didn't see the value that is in me. So since they didn't see that, if you're just saying it now, it's too late. So
they lost the gold.
Yeah.
Tolu.
If I were to be in that situation, it depends. It depends on what actually brought about the breakup. Like for example, if someone is a kind of person who does not see any good in me, or who gives me emotional problems, I hate anything emotions. So I don't even want the problem at all. So those two things, but especially low self-esteem. Someone who does not support you is not worth being with you. Would you date somebody whose heart you broke once more? I'm trying to flip it now. Whose heart I broke?
You broke, yeah.
You were the one who caused the breakup.
Yeah, you broke his heart.
If the person really loves me and I know, I'll of course.
You go back to the person.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's take one more call. Just one more call before we say goodbye on the show. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello, hello.
We can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, looks like he cannot hear us. We'll probably take another call. The network at his end is not as good as it is here. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello.
We can hear you. Good afternoon. All right, it looks like it's the network thing now, but we really have to go, or we really have to start going. We've said a lot of things today about dealing with heartbreaks, whether you are the heartbreaker or the heartbreaky.
Okay, thank you, Miriam, for coming. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Rosemary, thank you very much for coming. And to Michael, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And of course, to Tolu, thank you very much for coming. Well, I'll say, for me, hearts are meant to be broken. So don't kill yourself over it. My name is Major Daniels. Have a lovely afternoon.
Okay, we've said so much on the program. The most important thing and the most important person is yourself. So keep yourself very well. We'll see you next Friday, God willing. Have a safe weekend. Bye-bye. Monique Olaogidon is my name.
Let's leave you in the hands of Neola. Go on.